Now, moving on, the former American Secretary of State for African Affairs, Ambassador Tibor Nagy, has said in his tweets that Biya's message to Frundi's family was in French, and he thinks that it is a very abnormal and scandalous issue about the octogenarian dictator Paul Biya's condolence message to the late family, in that the message was written in French, whereas their destination was well known. But then, let's digress a bit. Was Frundi, in his most recent political agenda, really a challenger of beer? Well, the authenticity of that claim is a major concern. Beer and Frundi, according to Ambazonians, are friends. Well, even though Frundi initially was at variance with Paul Beer, along the line they eventually became friends.
Now, some Amazonians believe that Frundi, purportedly being Bia's principal challenger, was a facade. Thinking of it, we wonder, was Frundi in his most recent political agenda, really a challenger of Bia? The authenticity of that claim is yet to be verified. Their political opposition to some Amazonians seem like a pretense, because as you saw at one time in Bamenda, that is about 4 years ago, during the SDF convention, CPDM was represented. So we wonder, is the SDF truly a branch of the CPDM, or is the SDF an opposition? Because the SDF has not exactly done anything to Southern Cameroon's Amazonians recently, as per what would be expected from an originally Southern Cameroon's opposition party. Well, this is the indictment of Tibor Nagy. Why, according to Southern Cameroons, they're just playing games.
Mr. Chairman, morning. How are you? I am happy to meet you today.
So, this, according to reports,
Glad
was
that
their
the
first
military
meeting
occasion
in
brought into
2010.
Rwanda for us to
But
meet.
that
It
notwithstanding,
was a
one
nice
respects
meeting
the President here.
where
We have done
we
better
agreed that
because
the
it is
dialogue
an apology for a
started,
so-called
the stalemate is
bilingual country's
broken,
president to be
and
unable to express himself
given
in
the
his
constraints of
purported
time,
or the language.
we cannot
You
discuss
can
much,
imagine and you can
but
relate.
that we've come
Except
together
there is nothing like
and
a
the
bilingual
discussions will
country
continue.
as
Paul you've been
President
hearing
Biya
of,
seceded from a
and the one you
throne
met
here
today,
in
because the first time you're meeting him
1984.
on a
And the
one-to-one
Southern
basis, officially
Cameroon's
at least,
Ambazonia
what
only
what
seeks
what is
recognition
your impression of
away
him?
from a
Well,
so-called
maybe I could have asked him the
bilingual
question
union
too.
that failed.
That
I,
Now, talking about bilingualism, many critics, including Tibor Nagy, says it is a deliberate attempt to minimize the Southern Cameroonians' culture, citing that in Canada, with their French in the minority, issues concerning the Quebec, the lone French province, are never taken lightly as such. Angry Ambazonians who have been sidelined for over 60 years say there can be no excuse for this, considering that the presidency of the Colonial Republic of Cameroon is equipped with some of the best translators in the country.
Now, Frundi's daughter, Jennifer Ngwe, to whom the message to the family was directly addressed, left Bamenda after secondary school for Britain to continue her education some 20 years ago. And she has been living out there since. It is very likely that she will need a translator to tell her the content of the correspondence from the condolence message from President Biya. This deliberate act to continue undermining Southern Cameroonians in the present day dispensation in La Republic du Cameroon did not fail to attract the attention of Tibor Nagy, the former U.S. Undersecretary of State for African Affairs. and be a critic because of the president's very poor handling of the ongoing Amazonian War of Independence. Tibor Nagy has been very active in pressing the Biya government to accept a real inclusive dialogue and without preconditions to seek a long lasting solution to the long escalated and most neglected conflict that has taken away over 40,000 lives and counting, displaced hundreds of thousands of people, without mentioning the huge destruction of properties caused over these few years.
Well, below is Tibor Nagy's tweet in its entirety. He says, why could not Cameroon's president's condolence message to Fundi's family be in English? He says, imagine a Canadian prime minister not using French in similar circumstances with a Quebec leader. Bilingual country are, and that's their first meeting was only in 2010. He ended up by saying, shameful. Well, wanted to note that while La Republic du Cameroon operates a presidential system of government, Canada operates a parliamentary system. So in Canada, like in Britain, the prime minister is like the president in France, United States, and maybe Nigeria.